So recreational marijuana will be legal in Canada in less than 4 months, and that has many licensed producers not just scrambling to ramp up production, but to hire a lot more staff. Thousands of jobs will be up for grabs, but because the industry is so new, finding people to fill those positions could be a challenge. CBC business reporter Jacqueline Hansen looks at how companies are attracting top talent.
That's right. This is one of Canada's.
It's empty now, but soon this room will be packed with marijuana plants.
I can see all of the work that's gone into this around me. It's exciting to get up and running and be so close to a license to start cultivating.
Andrew Milne is in charge of the complex systems that will keep this 30,000 square foot cannabis production plant running smoothly. Milne used to work in Colorado, not in the pot business though. He worked at a company that produced consumer electronics. When he got a call from an old friend asking him to move home to work at a cannabis startup,
I hesitated, to be honest with you. You know, it's a new field, and I had to think a little bit about, actually mostly about leaving a steady job that I liked for a startup. Very cool.
But that hesitation didn't last long.
2 weeks later, I had all my possessions in a car and I was driving across Nebraska.
One of the founders of Cantex recruited Milne.
We enticed him back to Canada, even though he was looking for opportunities in Silicon Valley.
And there's a lot more hiring to do. Cantex has 16 employees at the production facility with plans to double that.
We get inundated with a lot of folks looking for employment in the cannabis industry these days. It's a pretty sexy topic.
Canadian cannabis companies are on a hiring spree, and larger companies need even more workers. Canopy Growth wants to triple its workforce in the next 2 years, from 1,000 to 3,000. Right now, it has 600 jobs to fill, from grower, plant trimmer, and cultivation supervisor to beverage chemist and mobile app developer.
We actively reach out to candidates through different sources and tap people on the shoulder and see if there would be an interest in this sector.
Allison McMahon recruits new employees for cannabis companies. She says the toughest people to find are cultivation experts.
There's only a small pool of people who have worked in a cultivation role, whether that's a cultivation technician or a master cultivator, within the ACMPR, within the medical regulations and the system.
A master grower makes as much as $93,000 a year, according to a survey by McMahon's company. That's already up 14% from last year, as the stigma around pot fades and more people want in.
I think what's really intriguing is how a lot of people, even in Alberta, are looking at cannabis as potentially a more stable opportunity and a place to take their career long term, even compared to something like a more traditional oil and gas sector.
In Ontario, Milne has found the startup experience he went searching for in the U.S.
It's a reverse brain drain here. You think of talent, especially technical people, generally going down to the States to pursue opportunities, but you know, the Canadian cannabis industry is so much more developed than the industry down in the States.
Now part of an industry that likely won't grow this much, this fast, again. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Guelph.
You might be surprised at who some of the new cannabis workers are. These seniors are spending their golden years making bud look beautiful. The group took jobs at the second largest producer of medical cannabis in Alberta. To their co-workers, they've become known as the Old Lady Clippers.
One of the younger staff made a remark about the old ladies. Well, oh my God, it can't possibly be us. So, then he was sorry, and he said, well, that's what they call you when you're not here.
Every week, these 5 seniors arrive at Acreage Farms, zip up their white protective suits over their matching tees, and get to work.
We do the clipping. Like you get some leaves like this, and they're all yellow on the thing, and you trim them all off.
As for what attracted them to the pot business,
when you're retired, the 4 walls in your house get boring after a while, and this is something to do.
It's exciting, and you learn something more every day.
We can all be active, and we do feel important. And that means a lot to us seniors.
So what do their families think of their new gig?
My son says, I'm never eating your brownies again.